Good morning, good afternoon, slash good evening, whenever you are listening to this. My name is Amir. I am with the KFAUSA, and here I have a very special guest with me. This is Dr. Dermot Hudson of the Korean Friendship Association of the United Kingdom and the Association for the Study of Sungun Politics of the United Kingdom. Dr. Dermot Hudson, welcome on first and foremost.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. The work of KFA USA is very important and valuable. You're doing a great job there behind enemy lines.
Certainly, yeah. It's the Imperial Core. We're right in the thick of it. I believe it was Che Guevara who said, he would be he would and actually envied us for our work here in the Imperial Core. But anyways, yeah. So I want to, once again, welcome, and we're going to start off right away. I just wanted to get a bit of background, and for context, I want to clarify. This is interview specifically about your recent trip to back to People's Korea, and apparently, and forgive me, how long were you there exactly? Like a week or so?
I was there 1 week from the 11th of April to the 18th of April.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So that's I mean, any day spent in People's Korea, People's Paradise. I'm sure it was all amazing. So we might as well just find out the most about it. So number one I have here. First and foremost, was there a specific purpose for your trip to People's Korea? And if yes, what was the primary goal essentially?
The primary purpose was to attend the international seminar on the Dear on the theme of independence, justice, and the future of humanity, which had really been organised as part of the commemoration of the birth anniversary of the great leader, President Kim Il Sung, the founder of People's Korea and the author of the Dear. It was the 112th anniversary of when he was born, and a number of events were organised, and the this event was organised by the Korean Association of Social Scientists and the International Institute of the Dear.
Amazing stuff. So, on a scale of, I guess you could say, like on a scale of 1 to 10, like what were your initial thoughts on the seminar? How did it go? For you, and also in regards to how productive the meeting truly was.
I think the seminar went very well. I'd give it 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. It was very good. I was able to speak. I was quite honoured to do so because they had so many speeches sent in and only a sort of short time frame that they only took 10 speakers, and I was quite honoured to be among the 10 speakers. And my speech was very well received, and we heard some very good speeches from Korean comrades and some others. There were a lot of countries represented, like Russia, some African countries, Italy, and Japan. They all made contributions, and we had quite a lot of delegations there. I mean, it's a big myth that the DPRK is isolated, or that there's no support for Juche outside the borders of the DPRK. This is totally untrue. I saw many delegations in the DPRK from countries like Switzerland, from Poland, from Germany, Austria, Bulgaria, a number of African countries, also Pakistan, Nepal, and India, Japan, and Brazil, and Mexico. I mean, Brazil had actually two delegations, and Russia also had several delegations. So, you could actually see that the DPRK has a lot of support outside the country.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah, that sounds extraordinary. And just out of curiosity, how does it actually feel to be the first British citizen to be back there after 5 years straight?
Yeah, I mean that was an incredible feeling. I didn't realise the fact until I went to the embassy to pick up my visa, and they said I was the first person they were issuing a visa to after 5 years. It felt really great. You know, uh, you know, that I was, first in line. It was a very good feeling. And I think also, very important to be in a position to tell people the truth about people's career rather than people reading the lies in the mainstream media about the DPRK.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, sir, I can definitely imagine so. It's almost like you made DPRK's history almost, and subsequently you made world history by extension.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly. So from next question, what were your first impressions of of the country coming back to visit after such a long time? Did things look different? Did people act differently? Anything of that nature?
Well, I mean, first of all, when I arrived at the airport, you, you know, uh, it looked like really not a lot, nothing had really changed. It was the same DPRK. There were sort of procedures in place for COVID-19 prevention. Our bags were scanned by a special scanner. They're more vigilant uh, over health issues. However, once I got through all the checks and controls, I was out in the airport, it looked pretty much like it has always looked, great atmosphere. Uh, there was like a big TV screen near the outside the airport, playing showing revolutionary videos. I thought it was great. Uh, but on the way into Pyongyang, uh, very big changes were evident. And I'm someone who's done the journey to Pyongyang many times, so I'm quite familiar with the route in from the airport into the center of Pyongyang. It usually takes about 30 minutes. And uh, first of all, I could see buildings under construction, like huge skyscrapers, loom up in the distance, and the coach had to divert from its normal route and sort of veer off to the left, basically because there is a whole new residential district under construction on the sort of main route to the airport, which I think will be finished by next year. So when people are going to the DPRK in 2025 for the big celebrations, they will no doubt see this new district. So the coach, was diverted, and we went through the new Hwasong Street, which was definitely not there when I was in the DPRK in 2019. It was a whole new district. When when I say street, I mean it's really like a whole new area, centered on one street, Hwasong Street. it's the size of a small town or city, even, massive. And the buildings look very good quality. I think they've upgraded their construction techniques a lot in the DPRK. You had two buildings shaped like intercontinental ballistic missiles, which was as you know quite fascinating to see. And yeah, I mean, we got into Pyongyang using a different route, and a lot of it was quite unfamiliar. And when I got in the hotel, I was on the 24th floor. Looked out one of the windows, and opposite the hotel, there was like another massive block of flats under construction, and you could see in the distance several blocks of flats under construction. When we went round Pyongyang itself, you could see new housing under construction, and of course the construction in the Hwasong area is still ongoing. When we were there, the second stage of Hwasong Street was opened, and as I said, there's this whole new housing district under construction on the route to the airport. So I mean, there was like a huge amount of construction going on. People can't say that the DPRK economy is standing still. That's not true. It's moving ahead at a very fast rate, far faster than capitalist countries. And we also saw the new greenhouse vegetable farm at Kangdong in the Miram area of Pyongyang, which I'll say a little bit about the greenhouse later. But yeah, all in all, I would sum up my experience that on one hand, uh, nothing much about the DPRK had changed, meaning that it is still adhering to Juche, to socialism. It's not giving in. It's not reforming and opening up. But on the other hand, there've been massive changes in terms of construction. The face of the DPRK is changing very rapidly.
So fascinating. That's the beauty of central planning. Socialist construction. It's amazing. For my next question, you participated in the celebrations for the eternal President Kim Il Sung's birthday. How did it go, and did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean the celebrations were very good. We went to a banquet. We went to a circus performance. We went to a music performance. All very very good. We visited the statues on the Mansu Hill. Yeah, I mean it was very good, and it was also wonderful to see the hotel specially decorated for the Day of the Sun, which is to say the birth anniversary of President Kim Il Sung. We certainly witnessed the unity of the Korean people around the leader and the party.
Amazing, yeah. It's a big deal, because he was, there's a reason why he's called Eternal President, right? Like he was the one and only. After he passed away, that position was abolished. No more presidents in the DPRK.
Yes.
It's remarkable, being able to celebrate, his legacy and what he did for the Korean people. It's amazing. Um, Apparently, there were delegates who attended a dinner hosted by the DPRK Committee for Cultural Relations with Foreign Countries. Were you in attendance? And if so, how did it go? Any new contacts or familiar faces?
Yeah, I mean the uh, dinner went very well. It was great to meet comrades from the committee again after 5 years. Most of the people present were old friends of mine, like Comrade Martin Loscher from KFA Switzerland. Uh, it- and, there were some new faces, like a Bulgarian delegation. It was a great dinner, wonderful food, very good atmosphere.
Yeah, me personally, I want to be in diplomacy, so stuff like that fascinates me, even as something as
Yeah,
small as, greeting somebody, from a different nations group or whatever, like you could really, make some deep connections and really build some strong rapport with other groups, like-minded
yeah.
groups at that, it's amazing. So yeah. Now I wanted to get back to Kangdong Greenhouse because you did mention that. I'll give you a chance to elaborate on that. It is a newly built, I believe, state-owned farm. Yeah, state-owned farm on the outskirts of Pyongyang. And not only just about the farm specifically, but just to give a bit of an educational, how does the DPRK's economic method work to benefit its residents? And how does the Kangdom farm operates under a socialist planned economy?
Right. Okay. Well, the farm was newly built. It covered over 100 hectares. Had 8 types of greenhouses. It's able to produce vegetables all year round. In fact, we sampled some cucumbers that were produced at the farm. Uh, now, I think there were several things very significant about it. I mean, first of all, they told us that they'd already supplied vegetables to Pyongyang citizens actually free of charge. The first vegetable crop was given to Pyongyang citizens free of charge. I mean, that's something you can't imagine in either Britain or the USA. Can you imagine one of the giant capitalist food monopolies giving you food away? I mean, that would be impossible. Uh, and I asked whether it was a state or cooperative farm, which is, I think quite an important point, because in DPRK agriculture, you have two forms of ownership. You've got cooperative ownership, which is basically collective ownership by a group of people in society, farmers in a given locality. But you've also got state ownership, which means it's owned by the whole people. And, the fact that this, very large and significant enterprise, has 1,800 workers, was, in the hands of the state, I think it's very significant because, it shows that the DPRK is not trying to introduce a market economy. And in fact, state property is the leading form of property in the DPRK. And so that is an extremely important point to bear in mind. And we were told that every province or county in the DPRK will have one of these farms. So basically, uh, it's state farms that are going to be supplying citizens with vegetables rather than cooperative farms. So the state sector is going to be dominant in DPRK agriculture. And also, we were told that the workers at the farm had been given new houses free of charge. So I think that's very important. So to me, it shows that the DPRK will probably reach the higher stage of socialism, communism, before any other country does.
Yeah, that's remarkable. Yeah, in every conceivable way. I mean, I even said this before I knew really any. I even knew much about the DPRK. They act as an incubator for socialist production, and they're doing so fundamentally well at it that they just keep excelling in practically every single sphere. Every single sector. You know, it's insane. So, yeah, in the course of your stay in the DPRK, you visited various different cultural spots. The Korean Art Museum, the Natural History Museum at Pyongyang Central Zoo, the Tower of the Juche Idea. I mean, I got a whole list here. Just out of curiosity, what were your observations of Korean culture and society overall in the DPRK, especially when it comes to as of recent, very recent?
Right. Well, as you said, we visited the Korean Art Museum, and we also uh, visited a number of other sites like the Tower of the Juche, the National Gift House. Uh, Overall, I was very, very impressed, both by the high cultural level of people in the DPRK, but also by the fact they're developing a truly socialist culture, uh, and it's also very much national in form. And you could see absolutely no influence of Western imperialist culture at all. Absolutely zero influence. And that was in stark contrast to some of the European socialist countries, which I visited in the 1980s, which had been heavily infiltrated by imperialist culture and ideology. Remember in Hungary, there was McDonald's, there were Rambo and Madonna posters actually being sold in markets on the streets of Budapest. I mean, such a thing would never happen in the DPRK.
Yes, you got to account for, in socialism, not only the base, but the superstructure as well, because the superstructure influences the base as well, yeah, so overall, just looking back at everything, how do you think the trip went, in regards to both, looking to what you wanted to achieve, but also on an emotional level, did you come back feeling refreshed, anything of that nature?
I felt very refreshed, very inspired, and very pleased that I'd gone because we weren't given a lot of notice about the trip. And one or two people said, oh dear, there's not enough notice for this trip. But, I decided to bite the bullet and go. And I think it was very important to go. So, yeah, I was very pleased with the trip. Uh, you know, I think the most important thing about it was that I was able to see the reality of the DPRK, to see that there's basically no impact of the sanctions on the DPRK, or if there is, it's a minimal one that's not very obvious. Certainly, the DPRK is sort of carrying out huge construction programs, which are quite unprecedented. But like we said at the beginning, I've been to the DPRK quite a few times, and I've never seen this construction work on this kind of scale going on. So, I mean, that was incredible to see. So that was a very important experience for me. So I think, for that reason, it was the right thing to do to go. It was also very great to meet some old friends and contacts from different countries, and to you know, talk to them at the dinner table or in the hotel bar. So I mean, I think it was a great trip. I felt very inspired and refreshed going to the DPRK.
Just as I expected, yeah, nothing short of incredible. Seeing socialism being built in front of your eyes, it must be so
Yeah.
inspiring. Um, what would your advice be to anyone wanting to travel to People's Korea for the first time?
Well, I mean, you should really go not as a tourist. Uh, these different tour companies that exist, but you shouldn't use them. What you should go through KFA or through a Duce idea study group, because that way you will be invited as a friend of DPRK. You will see more and you will enjoy excellent hospitality. I personally have negative views of, let us say, bourgeois or non-ideological tourists in the DPRK. I think they're not there out of any genuine sympathy for the DPRK, and they're there to criticise the DPRK, pick holes in everything the DPRK do, and just say something like, "Oh, I've been to the last Stalinist state on earth," blah blah blah, and uh, you know, and it would not be good to be among such people. Uh, so I would recommend that people go through KFA. I mean, I hope KFA will start running trips to the DPRK again soon. I think individual KFA national chapters may be able to arrange their own visit to the DPRK through the DPRK Cultural Relations Committee.
Yeah, for sure. I just remember I saw it was this clickbaity, like YouTube short video or whatever. This one tourist who, she said, "I went to the DPRK border." Like she was in, apparently, like she made a sound as if like she crossed the border into the DPRK, right? As it turned out, she went to this tourist spot in South Korea, the south of Korea, where essentially, it was overlooking the across the river, I believe. And at that specific spot, they were selling, I guess, DPRK paper currency that was smuggled there somehow. It was hilarious. It was like, oh, so you didn't go to the DPRK after all. Just these people are remarkably depraved, some of them. I guess as your trip came to an end, were there any memorable moments or places that stuck to you when reminiscing of your stay?
Well, I mean, there was all sorts of things like the Tower of the Deer, the Pyongyang Metro. I mean, it's always great to visit the Tower of the Deer, not just because of the ideological significance of it, but it's such a one wonderful area to visit. It's on the River Taedong, and it's very beautiful and scenic part of Pyongyang. Well, I think in other terms of other memorable things, I would also say what stands out was visiting the Kangdong greenhouse farm, and also Hwasong Street, seeing the incredible amount of construction that had been done, seeing that the sanctions cannot break people's career. They're doing all this construction work in the face of massive sanctions by the US and UN Security Council and other states like the EU and Britain. So it was great to see this, and to say with the Kangdong vegetable farm. I think that is summed up by a quotation from a famous American journalist, Lincoln Steffens, who wrote about the October Revolution. And he said, I have seen the future and it works. And seeing the Kangdong greenhouse vegetable farm, I can also say that I've seen the future and it works. And it is the future.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, I'm afraid we've exhausted all of my interview questions. Was there anything else, that you felt I didn't touch on that you wanted to add, or anything of that nature?
I think you covered most things. I mean, I would simply add, I mean, and this might sound a bit cliche, but when I was in the DPRK, I didn't see any homeless people or anyone begging. The streets were remarkably clean. They were really clean. Not like London. The Pyongyang metro was wonderful. I've seen pictures of the New York subway, which look absolutely terrible. The London Underground is the tube in London is not too good either. And also, with people who bang on about so-called human rights abuses in DPRK, and no, in the US, you've got all sorts of anti-DPRK organisations which push this theme quite heavily. Well, I can say, you know, uh, going around Pyongyang, that the police presence in Pyongyang was fairly minimal. You only really saw the police direct traffic. And I remember we were at the Korean Stamp Museum, and we were able to sort of look out on a very big residential district. On the east, it's on the eastern side of Pyongyang. And I couldn't see any police, at all. So police presence in the DPRK is minimal. Now you compare that to, for example, Brazil. I'm sorry to Brazilians to sort of mention Brazil, but I mean that is a country where at any given time there are 4 different kinds of police on the street, including military police uh, who are actually deployed on the streets. I mean, sometimes in London we have military police deployed at railway stations as well. We've got heavily armed police in London. Don't be fooled by the old stereotype of the friendly British copper in the coal scuttled helmet. We've also got heavily armed police units in London, just like in the US. So compared to a lot of countries, the police presence in people's career was quite minimal, and there's still absolutely no evidence of human rights violations. And I know some smart asses will say, "Oh, but you wouldn't. Oh, they hide it away." But the allegations they make against the DPRK, saying that there's something like, I think, 200,000 people held in camps. If that was really happening on that kind of scale, you would see evidence. DPRK is a relatively small country; it wouldn't be easy to hide, such things away, and you would also see people getting arrested all the time. We didn't see that at all. And it's a hard fact. Liberals and cynics won't like it, won't believe it, but everybody in the DPRK supports the socialist system. They're united around respected Marshal Kim Jong Un and the Workers' Party of Korea, and everybody loves Marshal Kim Jong Un. This is a fact. I know there's cynics and doubters, but this is what I saw, and I would recommend honest people to go to the DPRK and with open eyes and see it.
It's yeah, people living in capitalist countries, and many keep in mind, like, the proletariat of the world are not stupid, but the thing is that a lot of people, they don't see a future past capitalism. They will, like, for example, they'll look at, in the UK, you guys have Rishi Sunak, and he's just deplorable, and he has such a low approval rating, and people just can't. And when they look at the DPRK, they'll see, like, oh, everybody apparently loves Kim Jong Un. Oh, those are fake numbers. That's dictatorship. Skewed stats. And it's often, really implausible to the minds of people living under capitalism that you could actually, have leaders who work in your interest, serve in your interest, who the vast majority of people actually like. It's a major culture shock, and that's a part of the KFA's mission. We're basically getting that culture shock, and we're remedying it. We're directly on the forefront of dispelling any kind of miscommunications or lies or anything of that nature against People's Korea. At this point, the center fields for socialist construction on planet Earth. So, yeah. But thank you, Dr. Dermot Hudson. You have been excellent. I just want to say, yeah, it's been a little bit of short notice, and we had a bit of a delay, but nonetheless, your insight has been remarkable, and yeah, thank you for being on here.
Oh, thank you for interviewing me. I think it's been a great interview. Really great questions.
All right, is there anything else that you wanted to mention, or anything of that nature?
Well, I'd just like to extend my greetings to all members of the Korean Friendship Association of the US and also to the Party of Communists of the USA. Stay strong and fight hard. And, wish you every success in your work. I'm sure you will achieve great results.
Monse. All right, comrade.
Mansei, Mansei, Mansei.
Thank you so much. And yeah, look forward to courting with you further, okay, comrade?
Okay, yes, it'd be great to do another interview.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, take care, okay?
Okay, you too. Bye now. Bye.